divers, let me ask you this. What's the first thing you think of when you think of Busan? And, you heard the sound effect. I definitely think of the sea, the ocean, waves, right? And our program is aptly named Morning Wave in Busan. Well, from 7 bridges to 7 beaches, Busan is basically surrounded by the sea, right? And shaped by the ocean. But the ocean and the maritime environment are rapidly changing. And with this, so are the city's industries, policies, and even identity. So for today's Talk Busan, we are addressing the issue of the maritime capital of Busan and how the ocean shapes the city of Busan. Without further ado, let's meet our panel of experts for today. First up, we have, you might recognize him, Professor Andrew Millard from Changwon National University. So let's say hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. And then we also have Lee Yeonju, and she's the principal research scientist of Marine Biotechnology and Bioresource Research Department at the Korea Institute of Ocean Science and Technology. That's a mouthful. So we're just going to call her Dr. Yi. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And then we also have Johana, Executive Director of the Korea International Ocean Festival. So welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes. The pleasure is all ours. And last but not least, we have Kim Kyung-lim, CEO of Hwa Studios. So welcome to our talk this morning.
Good morning.
I can call you Lima like I usually do, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. So now that we are set with the introductions and all the hellos, I want to ask you a question to all of you, and feel free to jump in. But first of all, why did you choose to live in Busan? And I'm going to go to my right first and ask Johana 대표님, why Busan of all the cities?
Like for me, it wasn't much a choice as it was fake. Because I was born and raised here in Busan. Because my parents.
진짜 부산 사람.
네, 완전 부산 사람이에요.
토박이.
네.
Okay.
So I always had opportunity to live anywhere, like elsewhere,
Sure.
like Seoul and other country. But I always coming back to Busan. I don't know why.
But I get it. I definitely get it. Coming back to Busan. Well, what about for Lima?
Actually, I'm exactly the same. I'm born and raised in Busan, but then I lived in Canada for over 11 years, and I ended up coming back, and I'm loving it more than when I was younger. I didn't appreciate what Busan had before I left Busan,
Yes.
and then I'm actually choosing to live here. So yeah.
Oh, so that's definitely, I think, a common thread, the choice. You're choosing. And what about for 안 교수님, for Andrew?
Exactly the same. I was born and raised here in No. As you know, I'm English, I'm British. But when I first came to Korea, it was 2004. And I was in Seoul.
Yes.
Just for 6 months. But to be honest, I really hated it. But during that 6 months, I came to Busan with some friends. And we went to Haeundae. And just immediately, I thought, if I ever come back to Korea, I'm going to live in Busan.
Wow. I got
And that's what I did.
Yay.
But I think
welcome.
Something
Yes.
keeps drawing me back to Busan. I don't know what it is, but maybe
Yes.
also my fate.
Destiny.
Destiny.
And what about Dr. Yi?
Actually, it wasn't my choice at first. I had to move to Busan because the institute that I work for,
Yes.
the Korea Institute of Ocean Science and Technology, relocated from Ansan to Busan. Can I tell you the story? It's a bit long.
Yes.
Okay. So I joined this institute in 2009 when
Yes.
it was still in Ansan. But back then, it was already decided that the headquarters would move to Busan. I think it was a part of the Korean government's regional relocation policy for public sector.
Right.
And it was closely related to the development of marine cluster in Yeongdo, Yeongdo 해양 cluster. Which were already back then was being constructed. But it was massive undertaking in our institute. We have more than 500 employees in only headquarters.
Yes.
And also a wide range of sophisticated scientific equipment. So The entire process took years, and we've completed the move at the end of 2017. And I've been living here ever since.
And what do you think of our lovely city, Busan?
I feel that it's a great mixture of culture, nature, and the lifestyle.
Yes.
And I've come to love living here, and so have my kids. So it's very much home to us now.
Yes.
So you're going to stay here forever?
I want to.
Okay, we're going to check. In 20 years, we're going to check.
And some people might not know, 저 부산에서 태어났어요. I was born in Busan, but I went to the States when I was 3, and I obviously lived there for the majority of my life. But I also came back to Busan. There was a draw back to Busan as well. So I know exactly what each and every one of you is saying, except for maybe I'm 교수님 about coming back to Busan. But there's this allure of the city. So we're going to now dive into the meat of why we're here today. Busan. Maritime capital. So I want to start with An 교수님. Can you give us maybe the broad strokes of Busan City's policies, what you know towards this whole maritime capital initiative?
Okay, well, I think Busan really, it's doing a lot to sort of just advertise itself, but connect itself also with the oceans. So, for example, last year, there was a big delegation from Europe, mostly, about friendship cities with Busan. But if you look at them, they were all port cities. They were all related to the sea.
Yes.
So I think Busan's sort of main policy is globally to connect itself with other cities that are also connected to the sea. So, for example, from the UK,
yes,
there was Liverpool, a very famous city for the Beatles, but also because it's connected to the sea.
Right.
I think from Italy there was Genoa,
right,
and there was Hamburg from Germany, and several others. So that's really one of the main policies. But then also in terms of Busan's port itself, they're really going through a major redevelopment. So even the old port, that is being redeveloped into now more of a cultural centre.
Sure.
And the new port, that's been opened, but they're also sort of massively redeveloping that, or sort of extending that up until 2040. So there's huge redevelopments across the whole city, everything related to the ocean. But also, Busan Finance Center is one that's really starting to grow.
Right.
And I know there's a bit of controversy about which banks are going to come down to Busan. We'll skip that for today. But I know it's a secret.
Okay.
But no, also when I've been speaking to them, one topic has been sort of finance, maritime finance.
Right.
So again, every sort of sector in Busan, we can relate back to the oceans. And of course, logistics. That's one of the major ones too.
Well, thank you for giving us the broad strokes once again. And now I'm going to turn my attention to Director Joanna, because I want our listeners to know about how you got started with the whole Korea International Ocean Film Festival. And do we call it KIOF or what? KIOF, yes. So tell us about this, because it's so fascinating.
Well, I'm also running an event organizing company. At that time, I was organizing marine leisure show by the beach. So me and my team were brainstorming about the night event, what would be good.
Yes.
But there's one photo captured my idea. Then the photo was that photo was really interesting is because the screen was hang over the water and the people watching films on the beach. And that bring me an alarm then. Why not doing this in Busan? So we did a small scale of film festival at the moment. Then response was incredible. So that bring me a confidence to hold a big full scale of film festival. And here I am. It's been, already 8 years edition this year, but including pre-event and everything, it's about more than 10 years.
Oh my goodness. Already. Yeah.
I can't believe
it was just a couple years ago I heard about that you were leading this.
Can I just ask? So
yes.
I went to the film festival this year, the opening. You show many films over the festival.
Right.
Do you watch all of the films before? And how do you choose which films to include?
Well, actually, for this year, we are selecting 100 from the ocean-related documentary I had to watch. And also, there's a 200 film that we are submitting.
Oh, so do you watch all of them?
Most of them.
And I'm sure you have a panel that watches them,
we
right?
do have a programmer of each sector, but for the documentary and ocean-related matter, I do mainly cover, so I had to watch all of them.
Wow. Wow, 대단하세요.
아니요, but so that is why I really like film. That is why I starting this job. But after doing this, I don't watch just major films anymore.
It's all about the Indian, the documentaries, right?
Right.
Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for your question, Adiosunim. I want to turn to Lima for now. Staying on, content and whatnot. As a content expert, can you tell us about why oceanic landmarks, especially Busan's landmarks, have become such kind of cultural icons in pop culture?
Yeah, I want to point out, first of all, I've noticed that in the contents, it's usually films.
Yes.
There are different sort of approaches from Korean contents versus non-Korean content.
Sure.
So we all know that Black Panther was filmed in Busan in 2018, released in 2018. Actually, it was a huge news in Korea throughout, and I could see it typically how blockbuster movies like to film, those unique topography and diverse, big, fancy bridge light up in the nighttime.
Yes,
and then also hillside alleys and racing cars, and also jagachi because that's really really exotic texture to foreigners. But then when it comes to Korean films and stories, they want to touch upon historic values and also cultural values background, how Busan was shaped after Korean War and versus so it conveys a lot more also port culture, some gangster smuggling stories as well. So Busan has this really diverse cultural icons, not only landmarks like Marine City or Gwangan Bridge or Centum City that is representing modern, almost futuristic, really fancy part. And then also if you go to old cities like Nampo-dong and Jungangdong and stuff, you know, and there are hillside, tiny little cultures and small villages. It depicts historical tough times that Korea has go through historically after the colonization and then war time, and then also how developing the society 국제시장 and it touch upon tough port working class and grit kind of thing. So I think Busan has a bit too much, really, compared to San Francisco. It has, it doesn't have only fancy part, but also it has really historical, cultural part. So I think that's how unique it is.
Hyundai as well. The whole of Busan was destroyed.
Yes,
that's
true. A scary film.
Apparently, that was the first film that depicts tsunami scene in that kind of scale.
Yes,
and it was pointed out that in San Andreas, the other Hollywood blockbuster movie, had almost the same scene that the high skyscraper was made by tsunami, but Hyundai was first. So
let's all remember that one came first. Yes, yes. And now if I can turn our attention to Dr. Yi, starting with the big question. Why are the oceans, the waters, surrounding Busan so important?
Okay. I can give you a lot of reasons.
Yes.
As just someone who lives in Busan, but I think I need to answer this question as an ocean scientist.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So there is a lot of areas in ocean science, but my work focuses on discovering biologically active chemicals, compounds from marine living organisms, like marine animals such as corals, sponges, tunicates, or sea cucumbers that. And sometimes we get some microbes in the sea. So we collect these species from the sea, bring them back to the lab, and try to extract and analyze what they produce and contain. So I'm basically the chemist. So my interest is to identify the structure of those chemicals. But once we identify those compounds, we need to collaborate with other scientists to figure out what they can do to us. So whether it has like a beneficial effect or toxicity. So if some compounds turns out to be beneficial for human,
Yes.
we try to develop it into a functional food ingredient, or even like if we are lucky enough, even a potential new drug. And if some compound is toxic,
Right.
we look for ways to avoid or manage its effect.
Wow.
So basically, I'm organic chemist working closely together with biologists or medical researchers.
Yes, yes.
So if we think about this whole process, it totally makes sense for someone like me to be based near ocean, but also in a big city.
Yes, yes.
I need access to marine lives, but also I benefit from being close to other researchers or institutions.
Yes.
So when you think about that, Busan is ideal for that. It's one of the biggest coastal cities in Korea.
Yes.
And also it has like busy ports, a sea around, busy
Right,
ports
right.
and ships, and research facilities and institutions, and also major universities and hospitals.
That's true.
But actually, it's not just about my lab or my work. In a bigger perspective,
Yes.
on my research institute, KIOST, it's quite beneficial to be near the ocean. And as you can see, to us, the sea is not just a beautiful backdrop. It's a foundation of everything we do.
So I want to go back to you, An 교수님,
Sure.
because you already mentioned how Busan is increasing its work partnership with other hub cities. So if you can tell us more about Busan's role as a logistics hub, because yes, we talked about the science, what benefit it can have to people and of course research, but I also want about the logistics hub sector.
So for me, not just as a professor of international relations, but also the work we do with the European Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
For me, what sets Busan aside from every other city in Korea is the logistics. So we have Busan Port, which is, I think, the 7th largest in the world right now, about 25 million TEU every year.
Yes.
But this logistics, this is really what brings not just Busan, but Busan, Ulsan, Gyeongnam, so the Buul-gyeong region, it brings everything together.
Right.
So this not only is good for the Korean economy, but it also attracts a lot of foreign investment. But even though the port is really the biggest sort of magnet, what they're trying to do in Busan now is create what's called a tri-port system. So obviously we have the port is the main center, but also links with trains, so going into mainland Korea, and the airports. So one of the reasons to build the new airport, again, we want to avoid the political controversies.
But we do need it.
But the new
We have an
airport
overflow.
will be incredibly important, again,
Yes.
for this logistics network, to make it 24/7.
Yes.
Okay, and so direct flights to other regions around the world, it's really important.
That's a great point because right now for the Kim International Airport, from what I understand, it's not 24/7.
It's not,
so
no.
yes. So great point that you make in terms of the need for the new Gadeok Airport.
thank you.
That not political. I mean, it's just a fact. We have
Right.
too many travelers in and out of this one airport in Kimhae. So now let's turn back to Johanna 대표님. In terms of you've told us about some of the films that have been featured in your film festival. So maybe you can recommend to us some really good ones that we can try to find, even if it's not playing at this year's or maybe not necessarily last year's, but ones that really, really stood out to you, something we can learn.
Oh, for learning matter. Then you should come to our film festival.
Yes. And when is it?
It happened
This year
last
already?
Yes.
Yes.
But we're expecting some of the special screening as well. So please keep interesting on us.
Yes.
And let me introduce some of the film that I would like to recommend was Ocean Watch, which was we screened. The title is Ocean Watch, A Story of Deep Sea Exploration by Leo Richard. That you could see the picture. Probably it could be very familiar to the
Dr.
Lee. Well, it takes viewers to 4,500 meters beneath the surface. So the pressure, the darkness, and the alien-like the creatures.
Right.
So it truly feels like you're looking at the life from another planet. So I really would like to recommend those kind of documentaries that you can never see with your bare eyes.
Sure.
And all about the ocean sports. Then I would like to recommend a film titled Stormfahrt. It's German. That is the actual English title is a Storm Ride. There's a subtitle as well. The World Toughest Sailing Race. So by Philip Grip. We shown it in 2020.
Yes.
So followed Boris Herman, which is a famous sailor, as he raced 45,000 kilometers around the world without engine assistance.
Wow.
So can you imagine how life would be doing navigating storms by himself, cooking himself, surviving from loneliness for almost 3 months?
Wow.
So after this
Amazing.
film, you could have a kind of human respect for him. That's amazing films.
Yes.
So
yes.
actually in the film, he faces all the difficulties you could imagine, which can be happening on the sea, but he overcome those. And then just final race, he won the 5th, I believe. And that was a really amazing film. So
Yes.
I would like to recommend this film as well. And also we shown several stories of sufferers who's overcome the trauma from the shark attack. Those kind of sports films are giving us kind of incredible human journey, give us a kind of, we are growing along with them. So I would like to recommend.
Inspiring.
Inspiring. Yes.
Yes. So once again, Ocean Watch and also Storm Ride, the English title of the second one that you mentioned. Fascinating. And I'm sure we can gain a lot from those two films. Going back to Lima, if we go back to the whole idea of contents and if we look at the broader theme of the fact that, you know, the Maritime Capital Initiative, that is, what would you say in terms of, you already mentioned some of the nooks and crannies of Busan, but would you like to expand and maybe tell us more about your thoughts about what you might want to see in the future featured in content, whether it's film or cartoons or animation?
Wow. Actually, yes, I have imagined that many times. And part of it is what I'm already doing.
Yes.
Is that, I mentioned about like Korean and Busan culture, more like modern era and
Yes.
on. Because when we touch upon like historical, like really old ancient culture, we often think about Seoul or Gyeongju or like, you know, more of a historical cities.
Yeah.
But apparently Busan has a lot of those historical, cultural mythology or fairy tales as well.
Yes.
So we are touching upon that, developing those kind of content. So although right now the metropolitan city has the look that almost doesn't have ancient stories, but we could definitely touch upon those. And also, if I were to look at foreign films, just like how in the movie Titanic, when they picture like Statue of Liberty, it represents like, you know, arrival and immigration and a new start, things like that. So we can picture on maybe like not just the story point, but like using the landmark as it could mean something globally that Busan might have some kind of iconic symbol, almost
the
of a symbolism. That other port cities or other parts of Korea cannot depict.
Yes.
That would be very unique because it, you know, one picture says a lot about that culture. So to be able to do that, Busan has to become a little bit more famous, I guess. Yeah. And then what it's going to be, I don't know exactly what part of Busan that's going to be that kind of an icon.
Yes.
I could be the icon.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing all on your own.
I'll sacrifice myself.
A Brit who came to Busan and then became super famous. Yeah.
Oh.
Sounds
could
good.
be us.
You are the bridge of Busan.
And the bridge of Busan.
Oh, yeah.
that's
You like
nice.
it? You can wire the money later. Yes. But all joking aside, I want to turn to Dr. Lee once again. Despite the environmental issues, the extreme weather, climate change, and all that. Can we talk about the challenges that are facing the seas? Because I know we talk about, it's so hot, and and right now we're having torrential rain across the country right now, with even casualties, and it's so unfortunate. But what challenges are our oceans, our seas facing right now?
It has been on this table already. I would say rising sea surface temperature.
Right.
Yeah, of course, it's a global issue. But right here in Korea, surrounded by ocean on its three sides,
Yes.
it's happening and affecting us even faster. And scientists have reported that the waters around Korean peninsula are warming at a notably rapid rate. So my colleagues who have been studying ocean climate changes or marine ecosystem have been raising these concerns, and these days more frequently and severely.
So
And
is that affecting food production?
sure, it already affects the fishery industry. And so as we all know, the warming ocean is changing the coastal ecosystem first.
Right.
So some native species are disappearing, while some other species in tropical regions coming north into Korean waters. So among these newcomers are dangerous creatures like blue-ringed octopus, lionfish, stonefish, as you may heard, and some species of sea snakes, and some corn snails. So all of which carry toxins.
Yes.
And I think it's just the beginning of the bigger differences that we will experience.
Right. Well, I wish we had more time, so I'm going to throw to all of you one final question before we wrap up. How do you think the sea or the oceans form Busan's identity? Oh, who wants to jump in and tackle this question? Because it's kind of, you might think it was kind of far-fetching, but really, the identity, when I think of Busan, I don't think we can leave out the oceans, the seas, the port. We are a port city, right? So maybe with Professor Andrew?
Sure.
Yes.
So I was going to go to the beach later today, but now these scary fish are coming. Maybe I'll avoid it. But no. So for me, really, Busan and the sea, it's about connectivity. I think if I had one word, it would be connectivity.
Yes.
So like I said, not just connecting trade of goods, but also connecting peoples coming into Korea and for Koreans wanting to leave and explore the world as well.
Sure. Yes. 대표님?
네. Well, maybe as a Busanite,
Yes.
going to the beach is not a special occasion like the other people always envy about that.
Yes.
Because we can go beach whenever we want.
True.
It's very closely.
Uh-huh.
So that is kind of our audience also saying that when they're watching films about the people by the beach and oceans,
Yes.
they also say, "Oh, that's my story." They feel common. So I think that there's just something about seaside community has a same feeling because our natural character and the way of our speaking.
Yes.
So it's not just our backdrop; it runs our blood.
Oh, there's a familiarity. There's a connection.
Right.
Wow. Lima?
Yeah. I actually, connecting to my first answer to why I live in Busan, I
Yes.
would say the reason why I chose coming back to Busan is definitely diversity. So because it has metropolitan city and it has ocean, it has mountains, and because there's ocean, there are rivers as well. And yes, that whole unique topography and
Yes.
positioning. You know, when we talk about beach, we don't have just one type of beach. We have different types of beach, pebble beach and white sand beach. And then, you know, Gwangan has like much more fine, what is it? I'm sorry, sand. Yeah. So, you know, each beach has its own characteristics.
So unique.
And it's so diverse. You know, like who hangs out in Haeundae is different from who hangs out in Gwangan.
Oh, yeah.
And then sometimes, same thing with the Songdo. It's so that whole diverse of ocean culture is in one city. That's really, really unique.
Yes. And we're going to wrap up with Dr. Lee.
Okay, so actually I moved a lot in my life. I was born in Seoul, but grew up in Pohang and spent most of my younger age in Seoul. And then I lived a few years in Boston, Massachusetts, and then came back to capital area again, but this time not Seoul, the small cities around Seoul like Gwacheon and Gumpo. And finally, I'm here in Busan, and this is the best city that I have ever lived in.
Ooh.
So one of my favorite moments of the day, of each day,
Yes.
is simply commuting. I cross the Busanangdaegyo to get to and from work every day. And every time I get to see these sea ships, ports, and like cranes. I love the shape of crane, by the way. So it gives me a quiet sense of peace and clarity before and after a busy day.
Yes.
And it helps me feel more grounded. And I also enjoy running by the beach and swimming in the sea. I think these outside activities makes me gives me both physical and mental strength. So in general, I think living by the sea helps people to live more healthier and balanced life. So I think this is a big part of what shapes Busan's identity. So it's a city deeply connected to the ocean, but not just economically or scientifically, but emotionally as well.
Yes. Well, I mean, I was taking notes furiously because you were all the panelists here giving us such great content and your thoughts and opinions, whether it's connectivity, familiarity, diversity, and just being healthy as we push and drive to become this maritime capital, true maritime capital. So I want to thank you so much for coming in today and giving us a wealth of information and opinions and wishing you nothing but the best. So thank you for coming in today. Yes?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I do need to let you know to the waivers out there, this program was created with funding from Busan Metropolitan City's Regional Broadcast Development Support Program. 이 프로그램은 부산광역시 지역방송발전지원사업 보조금으로 지원받아 제작한 것입니다.